welcome back to the channel. We're out again this time for another belting mooch, and this time it's something different. You've seen us do kayaking before and camping, but you've never seen both together, so we're going to camp on a kayak overnight and sleep on them. We're doing it at Coniston Water, and we're going to include all the essential ingredients you need for a good camp, and I'll elaborate more on that when we get on the water. So first off, we're going to head over towards Peel Island, sort a bit of gear out, and then we'll get set up for the camp overnight. Don't forget, it's going to include every single element you need in a good wild camp. Paul just getting in there. We're both already sick of midges, which is what to be expected. It's so clear on here at the moment. It's busy up to, I'd say, half an hour ago. Now we're losing that sun. Everyone's heading back. So we're not far now to the Peel Island. I'm going to do a little stop there, set everything else up for tonight. Just check a couple of the ideas that we've come out with to make this wild camp work on water, and then we'll be back with you. We've got moon has risen and the sun has just set behind the fells. Okay, so we're just going to go in this little sheltered cove area now, complete a few checks because we need to anchor these boats down somehow, otherwise we're going to be drifting all over the water. And then we'll get some of the other equipment set up and let's see how it works. Okay, so rather than that island, we're going to stop on this little other outcrop here because there's nesting birds on there and they was getting a little bit distressed. So we're going to just stop for a few minutes here, get everything set up, and we're back with you. So this is a cracking little spot that we've never visited before. How's that for your own little private desert island? Okay, so we got off that island and we've basically just been messing about for the last 40 minutes trying to get this idea to work on this boat, on these two kayaks. And I'll turn you round and tell you what madcap brain wave we've had. So, essential ingredients for a wild camp is location. Yep, we've got that one. Good food, that's in there for later. Some beers, they're in there for later. But also, you've got to have a fire. So how the hell do you have a fire on kayaks on water? Well, we've come up with this idea of a plank between the two kayaks with a hole in it, and we're going to put a bread tin in there and have a fire log, which took us 40 minutes to get to this stage so far. We've just been drifting about all over the shore. So we're both going to drop an anchor now. We've got it kind of okay. When I say okay, we've not lit any fires yet. So let's see how that pans out. So we've had some success now. It's probably about as good as we're going to get it. On the plus side, we're out on the water now with a nice breeze. Midges is not a problem anymore. So the next thing, well, so in about an hour or so, we're going to try and get a fire going in this bread tin. What time are we now? Oof, 10:30. Yeah, we better get a beer down our neck. I bought that. I had it with that
case of beer.
Yeah. So this is as good as we've got it up tonight. We can position it a little bit straighter and a little bit further away from each other. But at this moment in time, that seems a bit closer a fire, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's closer to yours. You got it on your
Okay, time for a beer. And what have I got tonight? I've got 4 Wainwrights, golden beer, and I've got one Celtic IPA, and then some Heineken Zeros if I feel like them. Food wise, I've got myself curry and then a few snacks. But the next point of interest will be when we light a fire in there, which I think we'll do in the next half hour, because it's kind of bright for 25 to 11. But we managed it. We're up water camping. Essentially we're doing it now. Didn't seem like it was going to be possible about 20 minutes ago. But we've got string tied at the front and the back, so that's keeping the front and rears in check, and then this board in the centre. But I'm guessing the next time if we ever attempt this, we've already learned a better way of doing it. We need something solid at the front and the rear. Okay, I'm going to have this beer now because I think we've earned it. And basically, how long do you reckon we've been messing about?
Been on for an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, an hour. It's about an hour since we got on that shore, and we said we'll sort some gear out and get back out at water. And I think it's going to work now. The next obstacle is clearing enough space in here to get in the sleeping bag and sleep. That's if it's possible to even sleep on here. Anyway, I'm going to have this beer and I'll be back with you in a bit. We've had one of the elements of a camp, that's a beer. Next essential element is a fire. So let's see how this pans out. This may turn into the most expensive wild camp we've done to date. Right, having a fire on a wild camp on a kayak. Oh, I'll put it out.
You better with a little fire lighter, don't you?
Yeah, get a fire lighter in there. Right, take 2. On a kayak, while camping, having a fire. No, it's not working, this is it?
Just blow it after, yeah.
No.
We want some tips.
We're not come this far but not have a fire now. We've done it. Well,
Very firm, isn't it? I need to keep on them,
yeah. Right, let's see how long we can keep this one going.
Oh, close that wood back there.
It's the breeze in it that's doing it.
looks a bit flammable now.
I didn't know it's not snuff this one out. Yeah, it's because of breeze though, isn't it? Oof! This is turning a bit bad now. We shouldn't be laughing. We're on 10 foot of water with potentially 2 kayaks on fire. There's only one thing for it. Let's have another camp. It'll be alright when it dies down a bit. That.
Good job.
Oh, it's showing that though, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it might just be suiting up with flames, that.
Yeah, we're all but worst of it now.
You said that, but...
Best camping trip ever, this, isn't it?
Yeah. I told you to work. No one's ever had a fire on a kayak on a camping trip. Right, well, believe it or not, achieved 3 of the essential ingredients of a wild camp. Cracking location, we're on Coniston Water. A beer. And a fire. Right, we have still got a fire going. That's probably been going now a good half hour at least, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of Wainwrights. I'm now going to try one of these from Home Bargains, Scorcher Pale Ale. And it is a biscuit malt based combined with Citra, Chinook, Eureka hops. Now we've probably been doing this wild camp on the water now for what, 2 hours, since you could call it wild camping, and we're just travelling to where we was going, and we feel surprisingly comfortable now. Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze, as you can see, with that fire, but that's keeping the midges away. We are at 10 to 12, so I'm going to have this one can now, and then we're going to finish off with the last essential ingredient of a good wild camp, and that's some food. I'll get a stove out and I'll get my curry and rice cooked. Right, so we've probably got about another 4 or 5 hours of darkness before dawn, so I'm going to get this last can drunk, and then we'll get the stove out, get some food cooked and eaten, and get in the sleeping bags and try, see if we can get some sleep on a kayak while camping. Right, temporary need to go ashore, so as if not, we've not done anything mad up to now. We're actually rowing along with a fire between us. It's turning to shore now. Right, we're currently at 1:15, so we've been back to shore for a bit because we needed to drop some of the stuff on the kayak, but give us some leg room, then we can get the sleeping bag set up. And believe it or not, it looks like we're going to do the proper full wild camp on the water. Earlier, when we was messing about with this bit of wood and trying to sort it out, I thought it weren't going to happen, but it is. And it's got to a stage now where it feels comfortable. So the next essential ingredient of a wild camp is your cooking. So my stove's there, I'm going to get that lit, and I'm going to have a nice curry to finish the night off. We're going to cook some food, even though it's 1:30 now, and we can already hear sheep making noises because they think it's coming daylight. Still on the kayak, still got a fire going, still on the water, about 10 foot of water below us. But no matter, we'll get this food cooked, get that ate, a couple more cans, back to shore, drop some more stuff, and then get sleeping bags out and have a night's sleep. When I say night, it's probably 3 or 4 hours maybe. Right, let's get this curry cooked. There's probably more potential for things going wrong now than ever. Mark, I will have to hold on to that if I want to eat it. Not that there's any danger. Yeah, it's alright. That'll be okay. That's the curry and rice cooking away. Give that about 4 or 5 minutes. It's all pre-cooked anyway, so it'll be good to go then. Look at that for a scene. Curry and rice cooking by moonlight. So that is the fourth element of a successful wild camp. We've had the location, we've had the beer, we've had the fire, which is still going underneath there, and now we've had the food, and we're still afloat in the kayaks, as you can hear the squawking. I think my food's just about done. Well, it's 2:20. Still got the fire going. I've had my curry and rice. Paul just cooked some pork steaks, so I've had a couple of them. And I guess it's time we should think about getting to bed. Anyway, yeah, so sleeping bags out there. Going to kick all my stuff right down to the bottom of the kayak and get a few hours sleep before it comes daylight.
I think you need a fish fingers in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for tonight. We've done all the 4 challenges that really make up a good wild camp, and all that's left now is to get in the sleeping bag, have a good night's sleep if we can, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Well, we managed to do it. We survived the night on the kayak. Just going back to shore now. I'll just show you in the daylight where we was last night. Yeah, we was just where these little bits of rock was there. So we thought that was going to be a shallow area, but it's still about 10 foot in that area. And then somehow while we was asleep, we drifted across and ended up not too far away from this other rocky area. We must have drifted a good 70 foot there. Paul's still having a kip. We've come onto this rocky shore which we came on last night once, and our bags are further down there. So I'm going to get a brew on, get a flask filled, and that's us set up for brews for the rest of the day then.